how to create your own superhuman meal plan to optimize your body composition, optimize your health, and reach nutrient targets. I'm going to break down today, guys, a sustainable plan and all of the pointers we use in the Superhuman Protocol so you can implement this into your lifestyle so you can start achieving your best results when it comes to your physique. The first thing we have to think of when creating a meal plan is sustainability. Sustainability, we don't want to go on a protocol for 12 weeks, 16 weeks, then revert back to old habits. We want to keep this as a long-term aspect so you can actually sustain your transformation and you can actually hold it. The 3 meal per day protocol is very sustainable for the majority of the population. This is why we go with this protocol, because you're feeding the body well, you're keeping full, and we're applying protein synthesis at its highest manner. So 3 meals per day, guys, is very, very beneficial. And I've just added here on how I like your plates to look. As a breakdown, and then I will run through here all of the pointers. So breaking the fast with a large meal. I have plenty of videos, guys, plenty of pictures on my Instagram, the Superhuman Diet. If you've come from my Instagram, guys, I appreciate it. Say hello in the comments. I look forward to it. But I have plenty of pictures I put on my stories, plenty of reels that I add on my meals. So you can see my large meals and you can see my smaller meals. I will be bringing out an extra video on YouTube on how to actually structure this as well. But for now, head to my Instagram. You can see a lot of my large meals and a lot of my smaller meals. I put out lots of content on there. So breaking the fast, guys, with a large meal, then going in with a second smaller meal, and then going in with a large meal. Why do we do this? After breaking the fast, after a while, the body is hungry. If you start off with a small meal, it might not be enough food, and this can cause overeating. The types of food that we eat, I will get into, so we can actually control your blood sugars and actually apply a full meal. The second meal, we go in with a small meal in the afternoon because we don't want to go into that state of where we go into that sleepy effect. So we don't want to overeat, where you go into the parasympathetic state mode and you start to get tired, you start to get sleepy. We want to be energized and focused in the afternoon, so we keep the meal in the afternoon nice and small. Then in the evening, we go with a large meal. Why? To prevent any sugar cravings in the evening. The death trap in the evening for most people is when they start heading to the fridge at 8 o'clock because they haven't eaten enough for dinner, they haven't eaten enough fats, and they just start overeating. And this is why a lot of people fail with their goals, because they haven't got it structured out well and they haven't got it optimized on how the body needs to operate and how the body can actually function in terms of energy through the day, focus, and actually applying the right foods in their meals. Okay, so we're going to break the fast with a large meal because you've been fasting for a while, the body needs feeding. Smaller meal in the afternoon to control your blood sugars and give you that high energy. And then you're going to finish off the day with a large meal to prevent any sugar cravings in the evening, prevent overeating so you can actually reach your nutrition and body targets. Okay, I've given you a breakdown here, guys. It's a very similar plate on each. We always want to go with high protein, quarter of the plate with fat, quarter of the plate with carbs, high protein again, fat, carb, protein, fat, carb. Ideally in each meal. Guys, I've given you a breakdown as well of how I want your plate to look. Remember, this is a smaller plate, okay? Half the plate of protein, always. We always need to focus on protein first. Greek yogurt, chicken thighs, ribeye steak, eggs, focusing on chicken breast. We need to focus on half the plate of protein to optimize body composition, and you're actually recomping and you're building muscle mass. That is going to be half of your plate. Remember, the smaller plate in the afternoon, we've got the large in the evening, and the large for breakfast, okay? We want some fats on the plates as well. Why? To insulate the body and also optimizing your hormones. Some avocado, some olives, some raw cheeses, some butter. I add many meals again, guys, on my Instagram. You can check all the foods that I do eat. I won't get too much into the details of this. I'm just going to give you a breakdown because I'm going to run through all of these points as well. But there's plenty of visuals on my Instagram. Now we have a quarter of the plate left, and that is carbohydrates. It must be certain carbohydrates though, guys, if you want to thrive. Follow the diet protocol and actually feel your best so you can focus on micronutrients, okay? So we must keep the starch low in your first meal and your small meal in the afternoon. Your evening meal, we can bring in starch, carbohydrates, starchy carbohydrates. If you don't know what starchy carbohydrates are, then that's going to be the majority of rices, potato, sourdough, sweet potato. These are more starchy carbohydrates. Low starchy carbohydrates are going to be more fruits. So adding in some blueberries, in here, some apples, some papaya. In here we can add in some mango, some banana, some strawberries, some blackberries. These are going to be low starchies. And you can add your starch in the evening meal only. Okay, and I will explain on these points and the reasons why. I'll get more details in. Just gonna run through a recap here first, and then I'll run through all of these points. Large plate, small plate, large plate. Morning, afternoon, evening. Always protein first, always. Chicken breast, chicken thighs, ribeye steak, eggs, lamb, always protein, half the plate. Remember, large plate, small plate, large plate. Some fats, avocado, cheese, raw butter, quarter of the plate. Add some fats. We need to insulate the body. We need to optimize hormones. Fats also give you energy. Very beneficial. Do not go low fat. Then the rest of the plate, some carbohydrates. Remember, only starch in the evening meal. Low starch when you break the fast. Low starch in the afternoon. To feel your best, to focus on micronutrients and to optimize your energy. Low starchy carbohydrates are going to be the majority of fruits. Okay? The starchy carbs, rice, sweet potato, sourdough, potato, you can bring this in the evening. Okay? You can have some fruits here if you didn't want some starch as well. That's absolutely fine. But if you want some starch, you want some family dinners like steak and potatoes, or some turkey mince and some sweet potato, that's more dinners for families, then bring this in the evening. Not in the morning, not in the afternoon. We need to control your blood sugars. We're here to thrive. We want you to feel your best. Okay? Following this protocol, guys. Point number 1, keep the starch low. Accept your evening meal. Keep the starch low always. Why do we not have starch when we break the fast? Why do we not have starch in the afternoon? We need to control your blood sugars. We want to make sure that you have high energy, and we want to make sure that you don't overeat. If you are eating lots of starch, your blood sugars will spike. This can cause some overeating. We want to control your blood sugars and optimize your hormones and energy through this protocol. Really focus on the low starch, guys. The only reason why we bring in a starch in the evening, because if you do get a little bit tired and you go into more that sleepy effect, it's fine because it's close bedtime. Okay, because it's your evening meal. And it fits families and partners, lifestyle, husband and wife, because you can have some starchy dinners in the evening. It works very, very well. And we keep that energy high in the day and we control those blood sugars. Very, very important, guys. So keep the starch low, please. Only allow starch in the evening. Number 2 is we are staying micronutrient focused, so we are not nutrient deficient. We are focusing on feeling good through this transformation, and we are optimizing nutrient targets. Very, very important, guys. We are staying micronutrient focused on the Superhuman diet protocol. Point number 3, to get all of the benefits, intermittent fasting for diet adherence, improving your insulin sensitivity also. Okay, to actually store the nutrients on a greater level. I recommend intermittent fasting for everyone on the protocol. 16-8 or 18-6. I prefer 18-6. I like to eat at 12, 3 and 6. Then after that, no calories consumed, just water. If you are just starting out, potentially try 16-8. So you can start eating at 10 a.m., your next meal at 2, then try 6 p.m. We want to keep this sustainable for you, but if you are new to fasting, do not go too extreme, okay? Because it might be quite difficult for you, okay? But when you are fasting, just black coffee and water, that is all that is allowed. If you want to go for my protocol, it's 18-6. I start in at 12, I then eat at 3, I then eat at 6. Works for me, very, very great. I've got that large meal at 12 o'clock. I've got that smaller meal in the afternoon to keep me till dinner. And I've got a massive large meal in the evening. No sugar cravings in the evening. Thriving, feeling great, going to bed digested. This is a very sustainable aspect and a very great source. Point number 4 is black coffee. Drink black coffee in the morning to blunt appetite, boosting your metabolic rate and also increasing your expenditure across the week. How many calories you actually burn. Black coffee is very beneficial for this. I recommend black coffee and water in the morning if you are fasting. Very, very beneficial, guys. Intermittent fasting, black coffee and water. Very easy adherence. Give this a try. Highly recommended. Point number 5 is a high electrolyte diet. This is why, guys, we focus on the majority of fruits. Fruits contain electrolytes. High potassium, high sodium, high magnesium. This is why we focus on a high electrolyte diet. So also, 1, we have high energy. We're not going nutrient deficient. And high electrolytes is also going to be linked with muscle functioning and how we actually operate when it comes to getting a great pump in the gym. And also mainly focus and energy. If potassium is low and sodium and magnesium, you can start getting tired. You can get many headaches. So we want to ensure we have a high electrolyte diet. This is why we focus on the majority of fruits as our carbohydrates. Okay, so we're filling up on those electrolytes. Very, very important, guys, and then we're reaching nutrient targets. Point number 6 is cooking animal fats. Good for your skin health, good for your metabolism. We're filling up on nutrient targets. They're very high in vitamins. Animal fats, guys, they have fat burning properties also, and they taste delicious. Add in a knob of butter with your eggs or your ground beef or your steak. Help keep you fuller as well. Cooking animal fats, very beneficial. Point number 7 is 3 meals per day. We're applying protein synthesis. It's sustainable. We're controlling hunger. How to set up your meal plan. Large meal, small, large. 3 meals per day, guys. Give this a try. Let me know how you get on. Extremely sustainable. You're going to be thriving if you're following this protocol. Point number 8, guys, we need to keep the fluids in. Hydrate in between meals. Hydrate when you're in the gym. Aim for 3 liters per day. We need to keep the fluids in. Very important for optimal hydration. Point number 9 is how I've mentioned, you're allowed the starch in the meal free. So no starch when you break the fast. No starch in the afternoon. You're allowed the starch in the meal free. Starchy carbohydrates, potatoes, sweet potatoes, sourdough and rice. You're allowed this in the evening meal. Makes sense because then you can cook with your husband or wife and also family dinners. Very beneficial, guys, and if you then go into more that sleepy state, it's fine because it's in the evening. But we don't want that in the afternoon. Suppose many of you have had many rice dishes and lots of potatoes in the afternoon and you feel quite sluggish because you go into that parasympathetic state mode. We want to, because your blood sugars have spiked too high. We want to control your blood sugars in the afternoon and we only want to bring that in the evening. Okay, so it's very important, guys, we keep that starch low to optimize your energy. We want to thrive through this protocol. We want to fill up on nutrients and we want to thrive. So control your blood sugars, only bring in the starch and meal free. Lastly, the last point is real food equals higher output. Output is general movement in the day, wanting to train, wanting to do cardio, wanting to walk, just wanting to exercise. When you're filling up on nutrient targets, when you're giving your body energy, when you're giving your body the food that it can recognize and digest well, you're going to want to do more things, which equals higher output, which will then lead to your transformation. Okay, so real food only, guys. If you've come from my Instagram, amazing. If you haven't, I've got the link in my bio, guys, if you are new to me on YouTube. But check out my Instagram as well, as I'm only promoting single ingredient foods. This is the Superhuman Protocol. We eat single ingredient foods and we prioritize nutrients. This is how we achieve a transformation. We're here to thrive. We are here to feel our best. Okay, so hopefully this video helps, guys, on how to create a meal plan. Any questions, pop them down below as per. I will reply and I look forward to it. I hope it was good value and have a good day.